to share my screen right now. Tell me whether you can see. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? I look handsome 10 years ago. Now, not so.
Last year, okay.
Last year. Okay, I'm just going to start really quickly. We have 10 minutes and then Q&A. I want to give more time for Q&A. So I'm just going to talk very simple about software developer, what a life is like. All right, so what does a software developer do? What we do is we need to understand the needs of the project, and then we write code. So the code is what you see here on the right side, all these codes. And then after that, we write this code, we test out with the people that we write the code for. So we test it out with them. And then we get their feedback. We see how they use the application. We see their reaction. They will tell us, hey, this one good, this one no good. And then we refine. So we will go round and round and round until the application is finished. And then we do support and then future improvement. So what is my workday like? 20% of my time is meeting with customer, meeting with my team, discussing how to build the application. 60% of the time is we write codes, that code 60% of the time. And 20% of the time is testing with the user. So meetings, you can get to go to many places. So this is one project. I go to hospital, and then there's you get to go to many places. You may go to factories, you may go to even oil platforms, it depends on the project that you get. And then programming, so you write codes. So 60% of the time is 60% of the time is in a house, just writing programs and stuff like that. And then testing with the user, so we go down to the user. This is another project where we did for a company that dig bombs, the bomb from World War II in Vietnam that didn't explode. So this is the magnetic detector. So we built an iPad application for them to record their job. So we test out with the people, we see the way they use, and then go back round and round. So basically that's the cycle. So am I a good software developer? Well, you need to be a good problem solver because we are solving problems for people. You need to be good at logical thinking. And then you also need continuous improvement of skill because in IT, your skills do not last forever. So like, how many of you heard of Flash? How many of you heard of Visual Basic? All these language were very, very powerful last time, 20 years ago. Today, you don't hear anymore. You've got new things coming up always. So you need to continuously improve your skills. Of course, you need to be good with computers. Okay. Okay, so what? If you're interested in doing programming as a programmer, what do you study? Number one, computer science. There's a lot of language. When you go to the course, there's a lot of language. So pick your interest, but don't only confine yourself to say, hey, I like mobile app. I just want to do mobile app. Because you need to learn as much as you can. You never know, one day God will put you in some place that suddenly, hey, I learned something. I'm not very interested, but because I learn as much as I can, God put you in this place that you need to use this skill. Alright, so learn as much as you can. Don't confine yourself to say, hey, I only want to do this, so I only do this other thing I don't want. In computer science, you need to learn as much as you can. Everything you try to learn. Alright, so do the natural and let God do the supernatural. Okay, finish. That's it. So we have Q&A. What is life of a software developer? Okay, anybody have a question? You can, maybe you raise your hand. Yes, somebody raised their hand. You want to ask the question?
Hi, Jeremy. Sylvia here. I just want to know what kind of company you work for and what projects do you usually do on a day-to-day basis?
Okay. Actually, I run my own company. So my company is considered very small. So we do projects for all sorts of industry. We specialize in customizing software. So we do for all sorts of industry. There are some company that only do for one industry. Let's say they make hospital software. They only make hospital software. So your whole life is doing hospital software. So in a bigger company, like I told you, my day is like 20% meet customers, 60% do coding, 20% doing the testing. In a bigger company, you may not do the other things. You only do the coding. In a bigger company, another department will be doing the meeting. Another department will be doing the coding. So it depends on the company size you join is important. What kind of life you want. If you join a smaller company, you end up to do more. If you join a bigger company, there's more people, then you do different things. One more comment I want to make is actually IT is very big. So I'm only doing software. I don't do hardware. I don't do networking. I don't do websites, everything. I only do like system inside the company. So there's so many places you can specialize. That's why I say you learn everything. You never know, one day maybe you start off with software, but somewhere down along the road you realize that, hey, actually I like network and I like network security. Network security is also one whole specialization. Now got a lot of people doing hacking, got a lot of things. So network security is also can be your whole life just doing network security, but the whole thing is still IT. So there's a very, very big field in IT, and the thing is you cannot learn all. You cannot learn everything. I cannot be expert in everything. So like hardware, I find another friend who is expert in hardware, and then we use our skills together to complete a big project. Hi.
Hi, my name is Ian. Actually, currently I'm studying as a software engineering for almost 3 years.
Okay.
So I'm at my last semester doing my FIT project. But all these 3 years, right, I realized that I'm not so interested in software engineering because it requires a lot of back-end programming. So I think I'm not too suited for the back-end programming. So what are the suggestions? Is it toward machine learning or networking or AI or those? So what are your suggestions after my application?
Okay. What are you interested in? Have you decided, or have you found out what you are really interested in after 3 years?
Haven't really yet. Still figuring.
Okay. Well, if you haven't really decided, what are the subjects that you do? Because when you take the computer science, there's all sorts of subjects. There's also networking, one subject. Everything. So which one interests you? That is something that can tell you what is your interest in. Like you will take many different subjects. Some in web. Like HTML. So does that make you excited? So go for that lah. What makes you interested, because only with interest then you can really go and explore on your own, because there's a lot of exploration on your own in IT. All the people that I know that are expert, they explore, spend a lot of time on their own because they are interested. You cannot graduate from school and then straight away you're expert. Nobody in IT, nobody is like that. Same with doctor. You graduate after 5 years, you are not expert. You cannot straight away do operation. You have to be very interested in that thing. So it's very important to find out what really interests you. So that's why I say you learn everything. Don't just touch the surface. Like really learn it. Even though you may not like it, you really go and learn it. After you learn it, then you realize that, hey, actually this is not bad. That a lot of times things are like this. At the surface, you may not like it, but after you really go and try, even though you don't like or not so interested, you go and learn it, and when you really do it, you realize that, hey, actually this is not bad. Yeah. But even if you don't find it interesting in the end, the skills are all interrelated. For example, like you mentioned, you want to go machine learning, you want to go to AI. So computer science, some of the things that you have learned are interrelated. You can use in machine learning, you can use in AI. So it's not wasted lah, to say. Your 3 years are not wasted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually an engineering student, mechanical engineering. But my dad owns an IT company lah, so I'm working for his company. So for us in our company, like for me, my latest project was an AI project using OpenCV and Python. So what they told me, because I don't know anything about the other industries, because like I never learned computer science or programming. I learned by myself. So what they say is normally programmers these days, they don't write code from scratch. So they get the code from open source methods, GitHub and stuff. So is it safe for all like different projects? Do you like get existing code and modify it, or do you write it from scratch?
Okay, very good question. Actually, they say is true. Everybody takes stuff from everybody, So, like, a lot of us start with already a framework. We don't write from zero one. We never write from zero. If you join a company, they will have something available already, So they will say, hey, use this, use that. And if they don't have, they will say, hey, you go online and go and find. So you find something online, you grab it. So another thing to mention is I also didn't study computer science. All right, I was a business graduate. So in computer programming, like I mentioned, you need logical thinking, you need continuous skill improvement. It's nothing to do with it's like I said, it's interest. So interest is the one that really you spend days and working on it just for interest or just to do it, and that will get you far in the programming world. Yeah. Which subject to focus now as year 10 student? What is year 10? Year 10 is Form 4. Okay. Which subject to focus on? I would say the science subjects lah. The science subjects. But you can do any, like I said, because I don't think it's any to focus lah. Sorry. Because it doesn't matter whether you are science or arts or economics student. Anybody can be a programmer. Anybody can be a software engineer. Yeah. It's not like a normal engineering. There's a lot of calculation and the mathematics very 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 canggih kind. So anybody can be a programmer. Anybody can be a developer. Yeah. At maths. Okay. Yeah. I mean, most importantly is you treat your subjects now with the learning, the seriousness of learning, because when you go to learn programming, it's a totally new language. Sometimes it can be confusing, just like suddenly people ask you to go and learn another subject. All right, so there's a lot of perseverance in the industry also.
Yeah, so I'm also a mechanical engineering student at the moment. And personally, I've never really touched programming before. So, say if I were to start learning a particular programming language, how would I decide which particular language to start learning, considering there's so many options available?
Okay, I think you can decide by what do you want to do? Do you want to develop mobile apps? Do you want to develop websites? Do you want to develop back-end systems? Do you want to develop? So I think most probably it will be like mobile apps for you. So mobile apps, there's a few choices. Do you want to do, of course, Apple, iOS, or Android? So if it's iOS, then you can go and learn Objective-C, or the Apple's language is Swift. So there's a lot of courses online that you can go and learn right now. A lot of them there's really a lot, and tons of YouTube. So there's a lot of YouTube tutorials. You can just start from there. So the key thing when you're learning is to do your own personal project. Don't go and think, I want to make this game. Let's say I want to make this game. It's a very big vision. You will get stuck for sure. So the key thing when you start learning is to do very, very small things. Make very small goals for yourself. To do very small little things that is all within your capability, within your control. So that's the way that you learn. Keep in mind your big goal, but don't, because if you only aim for the big goal, you will get discouraged. After a few months, you say, hey, I'm going nowhere. So keep the big goal in mind, but do all the small goals. Say, hey, I learned this. Hey, this one quite interesting. Then I go and learn that. It may not be directly related to your big goal, but that's what I mean to say you learn everything. You grab everything. Then later on, you realize that, hey, actually what I learned, the unrelated thing that I thought I learned, actually I could use it. So you never know in programming. It's like you go for battle. You go for battle. You need as much different ammo as you can. You got ammo for this kind of enemy, you got ammo for this kind of thing, you got tools for this kind of obstacle. So you're trying to get as much ammo, you're trying to get as much tools as you can, so that later on when people say, hey, I want to do this, then you dig your toolbox, you have all those ready to complete the job. Yeah, just to comment also, like things that interest me right now is like, sometimes we find something very interesting. You're like, hey, wow, it's not related to my work also, but I see, hey, wow, can do like this one, so interesting. You click this button, can do so many things. Then we just go and learn how it works, So in the core, if you are an engineer, it's kind of the engineer mindset. You want to understand how it works. Then we go and figure out how it works, and then in the end, you understand it. Okay, finished. We just store it in the back of our minds until one day suddenly we realize that, hey, we can use this for this particular job, and then that makes you a very, very good developer rather than always trying to find something to fit into the thing. You are the other way around. You're trying to build a lot in your mind. So when people ask you a problem, say, hey, Miss, I have this problem, you say, oh, wait, I go and dig. Okay, I got this bunch of things, sure can fix your thing one. Rather than somebody come to you, I have this problem, oh, wait, let me find what can help you. Then you start finding. That's the wrong approach when you are doing certain things to fix the problem. That's the wrong approach. Okay. Anybody else? Ian and Jane, one more question?
Hi, Mr. Jeremy, it's me again here.
Hi.
Can I ask a suggestion or tip for fresh grad as I'm going to graduate soon at this August as software developer? So what are the suggestions? Because as I'm not interested in software engineering anymore. So what are the tips that should I still pursue for study or just pursue for job first as a fresh grad?
Wow, that's a difficult question. I don't really know you or what you have studied before, and under what circumstances you say you're not interested lah? Is it you're really not interested, or is maybe you find the teacher maybe they didn't teach in a very interesting way? I do not really know. So what I can give you is more general kind of tips to say that try to find something that interests you. Because IT is very big. You got networking, you got hardware, you got even programming. There's so many parts of programming. There's so many languages. So maybe the whole IT is also not interesting to you. I think you have to pray about it. Ask the Lord and follow the peace that God guides you, whether you want to continue or whether God wants you to select a different kind of study. Yeah. Any questions I can help you with? I'll try to answer. I mean, I don't have answers to everything, but like I said, I studied business, but I end up as a developer. So pray to the Lord, because like God will guide you. I know now can be a bit stressful time, like you don't know what. Actually, same, I was like you. After I finished my A-levels, I still don't know what I wanted to do. I still don't know. In fact, I studied double maths, double science. Like I thought safe choice is go to engineer. So I studied double maths, double science. Actually, I didn't really think what I was going to be also. So to me, my study is based on the safe choice. So, but after that, when I finished study, I ended up here. So pray to the Lord. Eventually, all things work out well for those who love Him. And just trust in the Lord lah. So wherever you are right now, even though you don't feel you're interested, but you do your best. You study as unto the Lord. For us, we work as unto the Lord. For you, you study as unto the Lord lah. Just do your best. And even though you may not be interested, but at least do your best inside.
One last question.
Okay.
Do you love your job?
Oh, I love my job because what I love about my job is, for me personally, I like to visit different kind of customer, different kind of businesses. So I've been to hospitals, I got oil and gas customer. I've been to factories. I've been to factory that produce cancer medicines. I've been to many different places lah. I've been to another factory that they make the Shiseido puff. That makeup puff. It makes for the whole world. So it's in Malaysia. So that's the fun part that I like about my job. And then the making of the solution for customer is also fun for me lah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. So I hope that the session is useful to you. And of course, if you have any question, maybe you can ask the church staff, and they can direct it to me. But I hope that I give you more information about what IT is. It's really a lot of personal interest. Go and learn as much as you can. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.